So this week we learned a lot about leadership, managing, the difference between the two, and we also learned a lot about the framework of organizations. We looked for some articles. I found two that explored the transdisciplinary approach. One of them kind of pointed out how we should be inquiry driven, especially when doing research. We should propose a question and then use that question to bring about change. It also encourages more complex connections with other disciplines, but it's not an interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary theory. It focuses on nursing, but more how we relate to other disciplines, or how other disciplines can relate to us, and how we can all come together for one unified approach to patient care. The first article I read was Resistance to Change in the Nursing Profession, Creating Transdisciplinary Solutions. And they discussed being able to take in all of the information from all of the disciplines and deciding what's pertinent to us, to nurses. And then the second article I read talked a lot about using different disciplines as a tool to express what we need to as nurses. For example, using the community to get education. We also took the leadership skills questionnaire, and I learned a lot about my leadership or lack of, and managerial skills, and again, lack thereof. I feel like I've got a strong sense of leadership, but it's the managerial aspect of it that I'm lacking, that I need to improve upon. I scored really high in the interpersonal section, so I would be good at conflict resolution and understanding individuals and their roles within the organization. I could use that to develop a comprehensive team strategy to problem solving and hopefully lead employees to be more productive. I'm also really good at reading people, so I'd be able to provide feedback that's tailored to how they're going to perceive it, which might avoid some conflict, and people might be more motivated to make the changes they need to if they're not feeling targeted or offended by what I'm saying. I scored the lowest in the administrative skills, which suggests I'd be a better leader than a formal manager. Areas that I need to improve upon include attention to details, managing others, and especially delegating, which I had a pretty strong idea that was areas I needed to improve on before I took this questionnaire. As a manager, I would really enjoy the challenge of applying the organizational values to the current framework of the organization in order to bring about positive changes. I enjoy recognizing and identifying a problem and exploring solutions. I like working with others and getting their input on what the best solution to the problem would be. For example, on my unit, we've been having a problem with not getting 7-day notes done on our patients. Every 7 days we have to do a detailed note. And each shift is supposed to come in and see if any patients are assigned to their shift to have them done. They were just getting overlooked and not done, and we're getting audits for it. So after discussing with other nurses on my shift as well as other shifts and nurses who have worked all 3 shifts, we came up with a solution where third shift, who has the least patient interaction, would have the most time to do it. The only downfall is that they don't have patient interaction, so their notes aren't going to be from a personal standpoint. They'll have to review individual notes over the last 7 days. But it was rewarding to have a problem on hand and being able to work with others to find a solution for that problem. And it's going to be interesting to see how it is implemented and how we do in our audits in the future, and also to see the quality of the notes, since it'll be nurses writing them who don't frequently interact. So hopefully it'll be a positive outcome and a solution that'll work. I'm very non-confrontational, so as a manager, I would have trouble providing negative feedback. I wouldn't feel comfortable bossing around employees per se and pointing out their faults and telling them what they needed to do differently. I do enjoy developing policies, and when I recognize a problem, identifying a plan of action. However, I lack the skills to actually follow through and have others carry out the plan. So with the new solution we have for the 7-day notes, I proposed the solution, but I don't have the managerial skills to ensure that all of the nurses on a different shift actually follow through with this. As a manager, I would have trouble if the third shift nurses who now have this new responsibility wanted to question it or challenge it. I would be too emotionally involved, I feel, to basically just tell them flat out that no, this is your new responsibility, you're gonna do it. As I said, I'm not very confrontational. Currently, I'm a staff nurse. However, if I were a unit manager, I'd have to work horizontally with all of the other disciplines in our building, including psychiatry, psychology, the school wing, recreational therapy, dietary. We all have to work together to ensure that the patient's care is the #1 priority and that we're coming up with the best team approach. I'd also have to work vertically with my supervisors who are telling me how to do things from a nursing standpoint. And I would have to take their feedback and carry it on to the staff nurses and healthcare techs to ensure that whatever changes my supervisors are identifying that need to be made are actually made and carried through. Working on a horizontal level would be very rewarding for me as a manager, because I feel like I could go in and represent the nursing discipline more positively. I could show them what we're capable of and make them value and respect the role that nurses play on the care of the team and the role that we ultimately play in patient care. So, in conclusion, I have mixed feelings about being a manager versus being a leader. I do really enjoy a lot of the tasks and jobs that the manager has to carry out, such as planning and implementing new policies. However, delegating and managing the people would be the part that stressed me out.